There's a big misconception that PG-13 horror movies aren't as scary or impactful. Many people assume that without explicit violence or adult content, these films can't generate the same level of fear. But the truth is, PG-13 horror often relies on atmosphere, tension, and psychological scares to keep audiences on the edge of their seats. Welcome back, movie fans. Today we are talking about something that can be pretty divisive in the horror community: PG-13 horror movies. Let's break down 5 movies that prove that PG-13 can be just as frightening. Let's get into it.
There is something in this house.
First up on the list, 2001's The Others. The Others is a masterclass in slow burn horror. Starring Nicole Kidman, this film plays on themes of isolation and the unknown. Set in a dark, foggy mansion during World War II, the film follows a mother and her 2 children as they experience a series of strange and chilling events. The atmosphere is claustrophobic, and you never quite know what's real or imagined. The scares aren't in your face, but instead creep up on you when you least expect it. This one sticks with you long after the credits roll. Next up is a film that blends horror with a courtroom drama, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. What makes this movie so terrifying is its grounded approach to possession. Based loosely on real events, it tells the story of a priest on trial for the death of a young woman believed to be possessed. Jennifer Carpenter's performance as Emily Rose is haunting. The exorcism scenes are incredibly intense, and the film makes you question whether you're witnessing supernatural events or a psychological breakdown. This movie proves that a PG-13 rating can still pack an emotional and terrifying punch. Darkness is a lesser-known gem that truly deserves more attention. This film is set in a remote house where a family begins to experience disturbing and supernatural occurrences tied to a long-buried secret. The way Darkness builds tension is exceptional. It's dark and has a suffocating atmosphere that lingers. What's especially unsettling is the sense of dread that grows throughout the film. It might not be as widely talked about as some of the others on this list, but if you're looking for a true PG-13 horror experience, Darkness is well worth the watch. James Wan's Insidious is another standout in the world of PG-13 horror. This film explores the idea of astral projection and haunting in ways that hadn't really been done before. It takes the classic haunted house setup and adds a twist. The demon design, eerie score, and the terrifying tiptoe through the tulip scene will all make your skin crawl. But it's not just the visuals, it's the atmosphere and pacing that make Insidious so unnerving. Even with a PG-13 rating, it feels like it's constantly pushing the boundaries of what's allowed. And finally, at number 1, one of the most iconic films of the early 2000s, and my personal favorite, The Ring. The Ring is one of those movies that taps into a primal fear, the idea that something as innocent as watching a videotape could curse you. The film is dripping with atmosphere. Those unsettling visuals of Samara, the cursed tape, and the gradual unraveling of the mystery all combine to create a deeply eerie experience. The moment when Samara crawls out of the TV, absolute nightmare fuel. And this movie doesn't need excessive gore to deliver its terror. It's a psychological horror at its finest, and it proves that PG-13 doesn't mean watered down horror. So there you have it, 5 PG-13 horror movies that show just how effective these movies can be at creating suspense and terror. Remember, lower ratings doesn't mean fewer scares. Do you have a favorite PG-13 horror movie that I didn't mention? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss out on more movie recommendations. I'll see you guys next week for part 2. Until then, stay scared.